Analyzing nutrition and wellness plans for structure and simplicity. Health LNK provides nutritious foods such as high-protein entrees, meal replacements, snacks, and supplements. But that's not all. If you mention 93.7 The Ticket, you'll get a 5% discount on your order and $20 off your first month if you start a Health LNK subscription. Find your missing link with Health LNK today on the southeast corner of 70th and Pioneers. Without a strong IT partner, your business ends up overspending, underperforming, wearing too many hats, complicating your work, and more. Applied Connective Technologies can help with experts in every facet of technology. If it plugs in, powers on, or charges up, they're your people. Imagine being able to call one team for all your technology solutions rather than a village of vendors and providers. For all your needs in managed IT and cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, infrastructure, and audio or video, head to appliedconnective.com to better your business today.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, deal ends June 14th. Join now, online or at your local PF Club.
See Home Club for details.
Welcome into The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in to Ticket Sundays. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, we got Haas Tabrizi. No DP today. I shouldn't say that. A chance for DP. Everybody knows, especially if you've been listening to him long enough around the Lincoln area. Busy guy. So if we're lucky enough, as Haas is getting set up over there, so you got to watch the streams. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Allo Channel 961. You always get a little bit of extra content when you do so. With that being said, though, let's go ahead and bring him in. The host, Haas Tabrizi, how's it going on this Sunday? And unmute yourself real quick as well.
Happy Sunday.
Absolutely. How's it going, man?
Good. It's really hot here. How about you guys?
Yeah, I got an Aussie Shepherd, a little mini Aussie Shepherd, and this will tell you how hot it is. I took her not to go throw the ball, not to go do anything crazy, just to take her outside so she could use the bathroom. And just that alone had her just laying on the ground, passed out. So it's absolutely miserable out here. And I think it's not going to get better anytime soon. But to be fair, it is July 14th. It's kind of what you expect. I'm happy I'm not a football player in 2 days or going through any of that stuff. That's not around the corner for me. But yeah, it's definitely hot out here in Lincoln.
Yeah, it's definitely humid here in DC as well.
Yeah, what do you like to do? Go ahead.
I was playing tennis this morning. Did you watch? I don't think the Midwest watches tennis that much. Did you watch the Alcaraz Djokovic match?
I'd be lying to you. I saw some Twitter highlights, but I would be lying if I said I sat through and watched the whole thing.
I'm gonna pick this up. Hold on. All right, much better. For those of you that missed it, my daughter came flying into the room and knocked over.
Just making sure you're staying sharp.
Yeah, pretty much.
With no DP,
so we don't have to talk about tennis with no DP. I would like to know what the audience thinks about what's the best story in wrestling going into SummerSlam. So is the best story Mommy and Liv Morgan? So is that what everyone's looking forward to? Or is it possibly Solo Sikoa beating the man, Cody Rhodes? And I know, as I said, the man, I'm offending Becky Lynch with that, but it's okay. Cody Rhodes is the man right now, and Cody Rhodes has done so much for WWE. But we talked about it last week. I think Fatu, the werewolf coming in, is actually the man. And for those of you that have been watching, I'm also curious what you guys think about Jacob Fatu coming in and just dominating the last 8 days of wrestling. So that's the wrestling stuff. DP gets here. We could talk about it in the second or third segment.
Absolutely. And
before
if you guys
that,
want to join in, 402-464-5685 if you want to give your thoughts. Go ahead.
I know the Olympics for some is exciting. What's your favorite matchup? What's your favorite thing to watch in the Olympics?
Well, I mean, this is I feel like this one comes up a lot. Obviously, it's basketball. I mean, that's kind of a given for me. But the oddball ones that I always find myself tuning into, curling. I can't get enough of curling.
Really?
It's so intense. When you see how into it those guys are and how precise they have to be. And it's like watching a game of chess when you don't fully understand all the moves that's going on. But nonetheless, it definitely catches my eye because it seems like an incredibly hard skill. Like to actually do that and to be is like on the dot as they are, it almost seems like black magic how good they get at it. And I believe it's usually Canada's pretty dominant at it. USA doesn't get a bad team as well, but yeah, I catch myself watching curling. That's probably the biggest one I watch.
I don't know why, but I think George Kittle's good at curling. I don't know why I know that.
I might be getting that mixed up actually though. Is that only a winter event or do that in the summer as well?
It is, okay. But whatever.
Yeah, that's a good one. If we're talking summer, I know they tried to break out the skateboarding one once. That's always entertaining. But otherwise, you go track events. You see those high jumpers, pole vaulters. Those are the two field events I can't get enough of. High jump is insane. You're falling from 3 stories when you get to the Olympic level. It's crazy to watch.
I definitely look forward to the 100-meter sprint races.
It's a little different without Usain Bolt dominating the way he used to. I will say that much. I'm waiting for the next. It feels like every event you got a Michael Phelps, Ledecky, Usain Bolt. Feels like we're waiting for that next just absolute superstar. And of course, you got to shout out the wrestling as well. Burrow, Nebraska.
Well, they have a couple of young fellows from the DC area, from the DMV. They have a 16-year-old who's going to be on the 4x400 relay team, and then Lyles has been a track star who's young. So I think he's the next big thing in track and field.
Were you a track athlete growing up, Haas?
Yeah, a little bit. My dad was a national champion runner. So.
Okay, that's new information. What events did you run? Or I should ask, what did your dad run, and then what did you end up running?
He ran an 800. I ran anything that was quick because to me, anything that was more than 100 meters was long distance.
As a man that was in the 800 mile and 2 mile, good decision. Great decision. Surprisingly, I would still say 800 is by far the hardest event. Something about that. I remember the first time I did it. It was high school. First lap, I'm just looking at the guys like we got another one to go. Like there's no way the first lap is this fast. It blew my mind how hard the 800 is because guys in that first lap were trying to get like right at at least C2 Nebraska. I couldn't tell you what the elites are doing, but I mean, guys were still trying to get under a minute for that first lap, and it was blowing my mind. I was not the best 800 athlete. I'll say that much. I was pretty impressed though how severe that sport is. I could do the mile much easier, but something about sprinting just 2 straight laps on a 400-meter track destroys you.
Yeah, I I hate running with the passion, but I love sprinting, so I feel you on that.
Yeah,
Now,
go ahead.
When we talk about the Olympics, there's some things that come to mind. I know they didn't add Caitlin Clark, and I know they didn't add Angel Reese, but did you watch the ESPYs at all?
Yeah. So I heard some Harrison Butker comments as well. So interesting night of the ESPYs. I will say though, I am a fan of Serena Williams, so anything she says, I can't help but laugh.
So let me take a step back and look at it this way. So the country's a little divided, and it's between Reese and Clark, and a lot of young kids love Caitlin Clark, and it's brought attention to the WNBA. But what Angel Reese has done with all the double doubles she had to break Candace Parker's record means she actually did something, because Candace Parker's a beast. And so Angel Reese should get her flowers. The reason why she's not is she talks like Larry Bird and she talks like Michael Jordan. And she has the tude like Larry Bird and Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Jordan and Larry Bird were allowed to do that. Angel Reese is not. And so it just comes off, oh, well, you're not a lady. Oh, you're just an angry person. You're a whatever. And so that's very unfortunate, because I coach girls in sports, and we talk about be a lady outside of these lines, but inside these lines, be an animal, be a beast, be as angry as you want. And so the double standard that goes with that, if Serena speaks up to it, she should be able to. She's probably the greatest female athlete of all time, and maybe the best tennis player of all time. Djokovic has one more Grand Slam than her, so people will use that to say that it might be him. But at one point, she was the greatest tennis player of all time. So she has the right to say whatever she wants. I feel, with me being colorblind, an athlete's an athlete, and if they're just playing hard and they're acting rough on a court, doesn't make them a bad person. That's just how they play. Because I'm not a nice person when I play sports. I've gotten plenty of technicals as a coach. I've gotten plenty of technicals as a player. But outside of that, I get a completely different reputation. So I wish people would look at things differently, and instead of making the headlines written by the media about Clark and Reese, I wish they could form their own opinions and be a little more open.
I always go back to this with those two players in particular. And unfortunately with Angel Reese, I think she's getting a little bit of the Russell Westbrook's treatment. Remember when Russell Westbrook was going off on that historic triple-double run, and everyone's like, yeah, but they're kind of letting him get some rebounds. It's a damn triple-double. It's insane. And to do it that consistently, it's obviously something pretty special to watch. Angel Reese is kind of getting that. You're hearing arguments, oh, they should have put Cardoza in there. They're just trying to get her. I think it was 15 double-doubles? Before, I think she was trying to get to 16, and then she fell short of 16. 15
quadruple team her, so she couldn't get it.
It's insanity that she gets that stark criticism. And I'll say this: Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, kind of the same player on the court, are they not? Are they not the carbon copies of how competitive they are? They both like the jaw. They both I could even argue Clark likes to flop a little more. They both got a little bit of that. What bothers me is you got two phenomenal basketball players, and we find ways to politicize it, when in reality, it's just two great competitors, and we're in this era to watch them. And as opposed to that, I mean, if you watch some of those WNBA press conferences, post-game press conferences, you'll want to rip your hair out sometimes on the silliest questions they ask outside of the game. It's like the first question, Angel Reese could have just had a double-double. And the first question she'll get about be something completely off the basketball court. How do you think about this person saying this, the media? And it's just, It's outrageous because, like you said, the double-double, fantastic, record broken. Caitlin Clark, great player, youngest, first rookie to get a triple-double. There's all these great accolades, and we can't just help ourselves, or at least the media can't, focusing on everything off the court. And I can't fully put my finger as to why. And my fear is they're going to ruin their chance to really elevate this game if they keep doing that, how they're handling these press conferences, this media, because they have a real opportunity, and it feels like they're trying to make it something that it's not.
It's number one, it's laziness. Number two, it's sloppiness. And number three, it's just letting anyone have a microphone. So with that, just finding ways to draw attention and get clicks. And it's just terrible. It's sad. Like, people need to stand up and realize, okay, this is how the narrative's being written. And instead of that, how about be a little bit more like Paige Beckers and be like, it's not me. It's there's this girl, there's this girl, there's this girl, there's this woman, there's this woman. Let's talk about them next season. And so it's plenty of players that are elevating the WNBA. And I'm a big Clark fan. My daughter loves Caitlin Clark. So if people are listening, they might be saying he's against her. And it's like, no, I'm not. From a style of play, I love Steph Curry's game. And as a coach, I love shooting threes and running around the court and just dominating the game. They, to me, are the same player, Caitlin Clark and Steph Curry. And one could argue, well, she rebounds more and she passes a little bit better. But to me, the way that he changed the men's game, she's going to change the women's game. You could still have someone else change the women's game and be, I'm trying to use the correct words, be a beast, be an animal, be dominant. And so she won a national championship at LSU. So there's probably a reason why Angel Reese is pretty good.
Yeah. You watch one game, you figure it out pretty quick. She's a great athlete. And yeah, and one thing you said earlier too, that does give me some hope that the WNBA is getting this thing. They have some young audience that is starting to really grow into the sport. 8:00 on Sundays, Bigger Than the Score. Guys, definitely give it a listen if you haven't yet. Not during this show though. Do it after. But he had a young guest on here, big fan, big basketball player. Guess what her favorite player was? Wasn't Caitlin Clark. Wasn't Angel Reese. It was Adrian Wilson. Wilson was her favorite player, and that tells
the best
you
player in the WNBA.
Yeah, like there is young people that notice skill. It's not just this. Oh, it's just Clark. Like, no, there's young people that are gravitating towards just not a couple of great players, multiple great players. Obviously, the greatest one in the league right now. But like, you got to keep on that trend. And as Clark and Reese, Cardoza, Paige Becker, I mean, you can go on and on. As these guys bring more fans, some of those fans will also see some of the greats that are already there. So there is this opportunity, and you just got to keep it for what it is, which is just great athletes playing basketball. So I think we are getting there. But again, when you get that Caitlin Clark press conference, the introductory, and the first question is the heart. I don't know if you remember that one. Outrageous. Like, there's got to be a better job covering this, because I will think you will stay in the red if you keep handling it the way you are. You have to find a better way to market it that isn't labeling these girls for being catty off the court, when in reality it's just competitive athletes being competitive.
Yeah, spot on. They got to limit who gets a press badge. They got to
really
limit all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's like there's a press conference and the mic was on and all that for Angel Reese. It's terrible. Just do better. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with applauding both. They're both having a phenomenal rookie year. And with that said, neither team is in first or second place. So how about talking about the Liberty and Ionescu and going and bringing her up, and she can just be a quiet assassin. It's okay. She almost beat Steph Curry in a 3-point contest.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Well, the hope is it won't be whatever. As I do think, with the Fever, obviously people are watching the Fever, but when they're watching the Fever, they're going to see some of these other great athletes, and there is a big following for the Sky as well. And you do get some of those cities that embrace their teams a lot better. I give the Aces a lot of credit for it. I think that helps a lot when you have a city that actually embraces the women's basketball team, as opposed to just having it, this is off on the side. if you want some tickets, we'll hand them out during some of our other events. No, they'll promote it actively. They'll have some meetups with even the other pro teams around. And it is exciting. You know, we're seeing more avenues being opened up. Even the Pro Volleyball Federation, for the longest time, it was you better be on the national team or it's kind of a bust. There isn't anywhere really for you to go. Now you got the Pro Volleyball Federation, WNBA's gaining some traction, and it is a good time, especially with NIL as well. That's definitely going to help a lot of girls out, especially in those niche sports, put a little money in their pocket. But yeah, I'll ask you this as we got about 5 minutes left. Why do you think that double standard even exists? Like, how did we get to the point to where there is this majority of people viewing women's sports this way and having that double standard with the guys? Because it is very prevalent and it's not hard to find.
So let me speak the other way real quick and just say, well, it's just not as fun to watch. So that's the other side's point of view.
Yep, devil's advocate. I get you.
It's not my point of view, but it's not as fun to watch. Okay. So then explain to me why the women's national team for soccer, who just dominates all the time, they're they're the Harlem Globetrotters of sports.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't they getting excessively more money than the men? They're fun to watch. Number one, they play really well. I don't understand that. So I'm glad that the equal pay conversation's coming up, but it shouldn't just be equal pay. It should be merit pay. And if you're playing significant, dude, the men's soccer team can't even win in this area. Like Argentina, I get, but everyone else should not be better than the U.S. national team.
It's bad. The men's national soccer team, I'll be honest, it's been pretty disgraceful. I mean, it's been terrible. It is, for how much resources we have for having a pro league in the MLS here, for you're trying all these things to bring more attention to the MLS, but like, if to me it feels like there's not enough like youth development going on, so we just don't have these soccer players. You can argue about the coach as well, whether he should still be there or not, but yeah, I mean, the men's national team has been incredibly disappointing. And then you look at the women's side, and you're right, they do deserve to get paid more. I mean, they make some serious runs. It wasn't too long ago they lost to Germany, or did they win that one? They might even won. I think they fell short and lost to Germany in that last one, but yeah, the women's soccer team definitely deserves a lot more credit, because that is something, without a doubt, I will turn on every single time they're playing, because I think they'll win. They're good. They'll actually probably win the game. When I watch the men's team, I'm just sitting there like this. It can be Honduras. It can be Serbia. I don't care. That's how much faith I have in the men's soccer team. Like, it's just never clicked. A few exciting years. We had Pulisic. Thought he was going to be the guy to do it, but there's not enough around him. So you're just really banking on him to make all the plays for your team, and it's been hard to watch. I'll just be honest with the men's soccer team. You're not expecting a whole lot of success until something drastically changes.
Yeah, I don't know. Either people don't have daughters. That might be one. So they haven't seen a high level of sports with girls because they haven't taken their daughters to AAU games and then to different volleyball tournaments and soccer tournaments. I don't know. It might be a slow evolution. Having someone like Serena, having the people in women's soccer, having Mia Hamm, having Chastain, and 25 years ago ripping off her shirt after the penalty kick.
Yeah, that's right. How could I forget?
When were you born?
99.
Oh, you were? Really?
Yeah.
I was 17 at that point. So
yeah.
Anyway, it's just having more role models and more icons, and eventually these conversations will change, because women's tennis and men's tennis, there isn't that much difference from watching it perspective. Like, I enjoy watching women's tennis. So women's wrestling has definitely evolved in the last 5-6 years. So Bianca Belair has taken over, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair. Oh, there's so many more. Ronda Rousey. And so the evolution with the women's wrestling has shown you that you can put someone else there that isn't a man, and people will still want to watch it. So
yeah, what a revelation. Like, it just feels so ridiculous at times. In UFC, I'll give Dana White credit and blame at the same time. He really dragged his feet, saying, we'll never do this. We'll never have women in UFC. Turns out he gets some good advice. Women start fighting in UFC, and they're great fights. You get a Ronda Rousey, like you said. You get these absolute animals, and then you get to the WWE side as well with that pairing, and you just get these superstars. So it does feel like, although it's taking way longer than it should have, they are starting to creep into the space of well-deserved respect. Like, this should have been a while ago, but now we're finally getting to that point to where you can turn it on and these big corporations aren't terrified that, oh, it's not going to be profitable. Like, we're finding ways that, like, it's how you market it. If you're not going to market it, of course it's not going to be profitable. It's like anything else. If you don't put the actual work behind it, and I think the WNBA deserves some blame for this. It almost felt like we do it to do the right thing, not because we're actually trying. And it just felt like that way for the longest time because they weren't really marketing it. Now you see posts, but you never saw it before. So I think it's a very slow progression, and we're in the middle of it.
So social media has a lot of negative traits. In this essence, I think here's a positive trait. It's allowed us to learn some identities outside of the court. And so because of that, I want to remind people the sport that we watched during March Madness was women's basketball, not men's. And the names that we knew was women's basketball, not men's. And so this is where social media, being on a phone all day and having a bad neck because you're looking down and just scrolling through stuff, those are all negative things. And it's a time waster and you're not really growing in life. But to learn about different athletes and watch their trainings and this and that and social media, fine. That's a positive, and I'm happy for that. And because of that, we're going to know more women's athletes for women's basketball next season. It's not just Paige Beckers. So,
hey, who's the one from USC? I shouldn't forget her name. She's
Juju Watkins.
Juju Watkins. Thank you. Another one. Definitely keep an eye out for. She's incredible as well. But yeah, I think we're just in that process, and it is going to be interesting to see what it looks like in these next few years. What's the timeline to the WNBA to get to green? That'll be the last thing I ask you before we go to break. Because I know they're in the red. Everyone's like, oh, they're in the red. They're freaking out. I think this year was still going to be a building block. Like, I think to expect to be immediately in the green, not crazy, but to have this idea it's going to be super smooth transition. You're still going to be in the red for this year. You're going to finish in the red. Next year, you might finish in the red. How long before you think they can get this thing actually into the green?
Once they have 10 people that they'll market consistently. So that could be next year, but we need to know 10 names. I know 10 names, but everyone needs to know 10 names. And so when that happens, and they need to not necessarily look the same. So with that, then the WNBA will definitely have an identity. And not only that, but expansion needs to happen too. So when they're in more cities, so when they're in 14 and 16 cities, then there's more of a buzz and more people wanting, more little girls being like, oh, I got to see this girl, or sorry, this woman in my city, and we didn't have a WNBA team for the past 20 years. So I think expansion and knowing 10 people are the two keys.
Yeah, expansion definitely helps because, even just speaking, like when you go watch when the Omaha Supernovas, like you watch one of those and you're like, okay, I need to come back to this. Like you realize how great of athletes they are because that in-person experience definitely adds a new element to it. And I think you lose a lot of that on TV. Even in the NBA, you might look at a guy and think he's slow. You watch an NBA in real time. It's insane how fast-paced that game is. With that being said, though, we'll throw to our first break here. Possibly have DP on the other side. If not, me and Haas will keep it rolling. Don't go anywhere. The Breeze, Haas, Tabrizi, Harrison Arns. We'll talk to you on the other side.
Hey, kids, what are you getting your ever-loving dad for Father's Day?
I know, a motorized monster truck. How about the new Taylor Swift album? You would love it.
Yeah, I'm sure. How about something from Osted's Golf? Name brand apparel up to 50% off. Strixon balls at crazy deals. And Dad's always loving Osted's gift card.
You have been putting a lot of balls in the water.
Not after my custom fitting. I'm smashing everything.
You're good at that with a monster truck.
Stop Osted's Golf for Father's Day.
The Osted family would really appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate.
I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
By now, most of you know how important the Honda of Lincoln sales and service team are to the Lincoln market. Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear from Honda of Lincoln to tell you about the great news they just received. Andy, please tell us all about it.
Each year, the Lincoln Journal-Star has an award program called the Lincoln Choice Award, where the customers in Lincoln get to choose the best places to do business. Great pleasure I get to announce that Honda of Lincoln has won the award for buying new cars, used cars, automotive repair, and even oil changes.
That is amazing, Andy. Any more good news?
Yes, there is, Charlie. We now have more than 100 new Hondas in stock, with hundreds on the way, and a huge selection of all makes and models on our pre-owned lot.
Incredible. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Haviland. This week's special through June 11th is buy 3 ribeyes, get 1 ribeye free. Also, $1 off all brands of crackers. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives. You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install 'em and forget 'em outfit long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Breeze. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, we got the host, Haas Tabrizi, streaming in. And just received news. We will not have DP join us today, as a little tight on the schedule there. But no worries, DP does not need to work 80 hours every week. Good for him to get a breather out there once in a while. So, Haas Tabrizi, the host as always, I'll throw it to you.
So, naturally, I want to talk about wrestling because that's what we talk about a lot. So if anyone has thoughts around wrestling with SummerSlam coming around the corner beginning of August in Cleveland, Ohio, just text in to the Sartor Heyman line 402-464-5685. Let us know which storyline you're most interested in. Let us know if you think Solo Sikoa has a chance against Cody Rhodes. Let us know if you think Mommy is going to take back Dom, or is Dom going to go with Liv Morgan, and what's that going to do? So interested to see what the texters think. I'll talk on it a little bit on my own. So with the Judgment Day and them dominating the storyline for the last 2 years on Raw, I hope they don't break them up. I hope they keep it going. The question's going to be, do you hide Gunther for a little bit? You take the strap off of him for the Intercontinental Championship for 666 days, and then you don't have him fight, don't have him lose. You have him win King of the Ring. Do you have him losing to Damian Priest? That's probably not proper story writing if they're going to just elevate Gunther. But then what are you going to do with Damian Priest? So there's things like that come to mind. Like you just gave Damian Priest this push. He just beat Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. I know CM Punk helped, but if Damian Priest loses and he doesn't have a belt, I don't know when he's going to get the belt back. There's too many people that want the belt or deserve the belt on Raw. So those are things that come to mind.
Yeah. And I want to ask you about CM Punk and Drew McIntyre since you mentioned them. What do you see in the story? Because these guys, I imagine they're going to have a big role in this whole thing. Give me the Drew McIntyre, CM Punk storyline that you think is going to happen heading into this one.
I mean, it's been great. So what's interesting is my oldest son loves Drew McIntyre. And he started watching wrestling at WrestleMania. And he hates CM Punk. So with that, I'm like, oh, he likes the bad guys. That's how I was growing up. I like The Rock when he was bad. I like Triple H when he was bad. DX when they're bad. So just knowing that he's getting an affinity for the bad guys in wrestling, it's interesting. Drew McIntyre has been screwed 3 times now by CM Punk. And so with that, so I think it was 5 minutes and 46 seconds that he was champion at WrestleMania. And then at SummerSlam, is it going to be a one-on-one match? Is it going to be with Seth Rollins? Because they started Raw with Seth Rollins and CM Punk. So we'll find out on Raw how it's going to be. Maybe Seth Rollins is the guest referee. That might be a route to go if they don't want to make it a triple threat. I don't know. I don't know what you do. So from a storyline perspective, how much do they want to invest in CM Punk? Because they've made Drew McIntyre a top tier wrestler now. And CM Punk has been a top tier wrestler for the last decade. And so CM Punk can lose this match. He can lose the next couple matches. And then he can have a match with John Cena. And people would want to watch that match. Just the nostalgia effect, the 2011 to 2013 run that wrestling had with 435 days of champion and the ice cream bars and all those things, like taking the belt in Chicago and leaving. There's so many things that come back to memory with CM Punk. So the right play here, let Drew finally win. You don't waste the money in the bank for him, on him, all those things. He got cashed in at WrestleMania. He then wins Money in the Bank later. He cashes in and gets screwed by CM Punk. So he gets screwed so many times by CM Punk.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on Drew McIntyre. As you guys really sold me on him. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. Also, I got a little bit of McMahon in me. I want to believe it. Drew McIntyre, I can believe. He's as an individual, he looks like a guy that you wouldn't want to mess with. It definitely. I mean, what do you feel as a WWE historian? I'll give you that title. You DP and both of you guys really. how do you see the Drew McIntyre? Like, what's his fanfare look like in terms of wrestlers? Is he like, if you're going to rank his popularity, where does he fall in with all the great wrestlers that are still in it today?
He's not even in the same book. Just hasn't done enough. He hasn't done enough at all. So he hasn't been champion for that long. He hasn't won many belts for that long. So the next 5 to 10 years have to show us what they'll do with him. So he fits the part. He speaks well. He looks the part. He looks like a wrestler. He has the right moves, but he hasn't done anything yet. If you're going to compare him to, you said the greatest wrestler, so Hulk Hogan.
No, I was currently in it today. Like, if you on the
today,
popularity scale of today, where would he fall? Is he a top 10?
It's right on the edge.
I was gonna say all time. I understand he's not going to be in the top 10, but I think currently right now, like, that's what's bizarre is he is this guy that he has all this build up, and then it gets robbed from him, and then he has this build up, and then it gets robbed. So he's like on that fringe for me, where he's probably looking at about 12 or 11.
So if people who aren't here count, Cody Rhodes is 1.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns 3. Brock is 2. I was going to say Roman Reigns 2. Brock Lesnar should be 4.
I'm still surprised you have Rock at 2. I thought you'd put him at 1, but I understand.
Cody Rhodes finished the story, has the belts. He's on TV.
Mm-hmm.
The next 3 people I named haven't been on TV in a while. Fine. After that, Seth Rollins is the most popular. After that, it's Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 6. After that, I would go Sami Zayn as 7, Jey Uso at 8. So then it's figuring out, is there anyone else ahead of Drew McIntyre? I think Randy Orton's ahead of him.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say
14-time champion. He gets such a huge reaction. Even Kevin Owens gets a big reaction. And it's like, well, he's a bad guy. Okay, so if he's a bad guy, his reaction isn't as big as Dom Mysterio.
That's fair.
So then there's CM Punk. So no, he's outside the top 10 for me.
That's crazy to think. He's outside the top 10.
What has he done? So he's won. He has 2 championship reigns. One is for 5 minutes. Look, he's had a less stellar career than his boy Sheamus.
Mm-hmm.
So they should start using Sheamus. Sheamus is just as big as him, and he speaks just as well. They could start using Sheamus.
That's another great question. Yeah, go for it before I ask the next one.
I think part of the reason why they're not having him on TV is just his build is not the same, and they don't want him to get made fun of for being 20 pounds overweight. I don't know. They could put Sheamus back on TV.
Could be. What I wanted to ask you before we go to our next break here, give me the myth script. Give me the script that you feel like this is a star that they need to really elevate. They've been missing on for too many weeks in a row now. Which wrestler needs to have a big moment in this upcoming event?
Well, unfortunately, they're not going to give him a big moment, but Jey Uso has been the most over wrestler in so long. Just the way the crowd pops when his music hits. It's the loudest. It's the loudest pop. Other than Cody Rhodes, it's the loudest pop.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, the WWE is all about making the fans happy. Why doesn't he have a belt? So he easily should be. He could have won Money in the Bank. That's what they should have done. They should have given him Money in the Bank. That was a major misstep by the WWE. Give Jey Uso Money in the Bank.
As opposed to was Damian Priest who got Money in the Bank that night?
No, Damian Priest was the year before. It was Drew McIntyre, and then he got cashed in. Sorry, he cashed in, and then he got beaten up by CM Punk.
Oh, that's right. I remember clipping that one up for you.
So Jey Uso is the most popular wrestler, and eventually he won't be. So take advantage of it. And is it the time that he's not going to be? Is it because he's going to go help Roman Reigns, his brother, and maybe Sami Zayn beat the new bloodline? I don't know. but putting him back in a faction is going to take him away from being main event Jey Uso. So I think they're really missing the story on Jey Uso right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And like Haas said on this third segment, if you guys want to bring it back there, 402-464-5685. But Haas, I'll tease this before we go to break. Have you been watching a lot of Summer League?
Oh, I'm all about watching Brawny. No. Like, it's crazy how he has so much media attention. Like, I saw the picture of him and his dad, like when his dad was 18 years old, and they had the same amount of media watching them.
It's incredible. I was actually going to go towards Zach Edey, but we can talk about Brawny. Zach Edey, hidden in gem in the rough. I can't believe how the grid.
Is he though?
Perfect fit. I think so. Think about
How's he hidden? How's he hidden?
Well, he's 7'4". He's hard to hide. No.
Yeah. So there's that. What did he do last year and the year before? How can that guy be a hidden gem? Like, it's just the NBA being stupid.
It's what perplexed me, and we'll dive into it, was when you looked at they give these crazy grades after every draft. They'll grade you. How did you do on the draft? The grades for the Grizzlies after that first round made me want to puke. I could not believe the things I was reading and the concerns they had for a guy in Zach Edey. So we'll talk about that all on the other side. This is the Breeze. Haas Tabrizi, no DP, Harrison Arns as well on a Ticket Sunday. Don't go anywhere. We'll keep it rolling on the other side.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Without a strong IT partner, your business ends up overspending, underperforming, wearing too many hats, complicating your work, and more. Applied Connective Technologies can help with experts in every facet of technology. If it plugs in, powers on, or charges up, they're your people. Imagine being able to call one team for all your technology solutions rather than a village of vendors and providers. For all your needs in managed IT and cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, infrastructure, and audio or video, head to appliedconnective.com to better your business today.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to Oak Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Have a passion for the outdoors? Nebraska Game and Parks is seeking seasonal teammates. Work in scenic state parks, contribute to vital research projects, and care for our natural spaces. Seasonal staff assist with special events, provide customer service to outdoor enthusiasts, and make a difference for conservation. Join the adventure at outdoornebraska.gov. Apply online today.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Old School with DP and J.
Everybody's going to focus on his intensities and antics. I think he would be just fine because Billy Donovan is doing well, right? And he's intense as all get out. But how do you think he would transition to the NBA as a coach? And then also, what does this tell you about the Lakers?
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
I think the plan is to go bigger at corner. You got to have bigger corners in this league because you got these receivers. You got to deal with Ohio State receivers. And I'm not saying small corners can't get it done, but small corners have to be extraordinary, right? They got to jump higher. They got to do things that bigger corners might not necessarily have to do. So, I mean, losing Ethan Nation, it's kind of a blow, but when you got to get down in scholarships anyway, it's not, man. They got to have their best guys, man.
Alcohol has strained our relationship. Drinking too much can cause harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, we will save our relationship. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, deal ends June 14th. Join now, online or at your local PF Club.
See Home Club for details.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Without a strong IT partner, your business ends up overspending, underperforming, wearing too many hats, complicating your work, and more. Applied Connective Technologies can help with experts in every facet of technology. If it plugs in, powers on, or charges up, they're your people. Imagine being able to call one team for all your technology solutions rather than a village of vendors and providers. For all your needs in managed IT and cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, infrastructure, and audio or video, head to appliedconnective.com to better your business today.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Have a passion for the outdoors? Nebraska Game and Parks is seeking seasonal teammates. Work in scenic state parks, contribute to vital research projects, and care for our natural spaces. Seasonal staff assist with special events, provide customer service to outdoor enthusiasts, and make a difference for conservation. Join the adventure at outdoornebraska.gov. Apply online today.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Breeze final segment. Talk a little bit of NBA Summer League to wrap it up. If you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685, Sergeant Heyman text line. As always, we got Haas Tabrizi screaming in no DP today as he is out on the road. but the show goes on nonetheless. So, Haas, I kind of teased it at the beginning there. In particular, Zach Edey. He's been impressive for me. I was a little bit shocked. Just give me, what did you think of Zach Edey's chance of NBA success before you saw any summer league stats?
Well, I feel like Memphis is a perfect team for him. So I know we talk about Ja Morant not being the franchise or the face of the NBA anymore, but what if Ja Morant doesn't get injured and doesn't hold weapons and doesn't do the things that he's done in the past? And what if he plays like the way he's played? Wouldn't a center who's tall and can finish at the basket, who can score 30, 40 points a game, be perfect for him?
Seems like it. That's what I had in my head. Pretty obvious. You look at the and you can go to ESPN, you can go to Bleacher Report. They're giving like C's. I saw one as low as a D- for drafting Zach Edey at 9. I'm like, okay, say Zach Edey doesn't become a superstar. He is a guy that you can probably find 15 minutes out there on the court regardless. At that size, he's 300 plus pounds. I don't care if you're Victor Wembanyama. You don't necessarily want to see a Zach Edey around the rim. That's quite the deterrent there. And like you said, with the Grizzlies, that's a perfect plug and play. You're going to have matchups out there where you don't need him to do what he did at Purdue. He doesn't have to be the sole focus of your playmaking, of your offense. Just needs to protect the rim and grab rebounds. And that's what he did against Castle, who is an NBA talent for the Utah Jazz. He gets a nice double-double, sends the game into OT. Even though they lose, he gets the tip in. And it was a clean double-double on high efficiency. The fact that that was like a bewildering thing that people were skeptical about Zach Edey, how soon we forget about the Yao Mings of the world. Like, those guys can't play basketball. They can play it at a high level. I get it's a 3-point game now, but you look at Zach Edey, there's plenty of matchups out there across the league that he can play. He's not probably going to be the superstar that can take over your offense. Like, I don't expect him to start shooting threes, but 15 minutes, it's almost like a guaranteed, as long as he stays healthy, you can develop him into an NBA role player. That's what shocked me so much about people hating the draft pick.
Yeah, but I think typically if you're drafting the lottery, you're not looking for a role player. The problem was with this draft, there wasn't much there. So
that's the other part, though.
like it was a very weak draft. So to go and bring in a starter day one and have a starter, allowed Jackson Jr. to move to the 4 and still help on defense, former defensive player of the year. Now you have Marcus Smart potentially at the 2, if not Baines at the 2. And they had Gigi, he had a 44-point game in his last game.
Yeah.
So, and then if they bring back Kennard, they have the spacing. So they don't have depth. They only have 7 players, but Memphis was scary before Ja Morant was hurt. So plugging him in there and having an offensive weapon to add to Ja Morant, that was a brilliant move.
Yeah, and to your point, when you got to 9, okay, who's the next superstar? Like, that's the other part. Like, if he was like 1, 2, or 3, I can get the argument. 9, like, pick the superstar that supposedly has this crazy high ceiling. They might be in round 3 too, but at that point, you are getting to, let's just make sure we get a guy and not waste the number 9th pick. If we're not going to trade that pick, let's make sure we get a guy that works. And Zach Edey definitely fits that. One more guy I'm going to talk to you about. Use your shooting coach expertise here. Former Husker, Keisei Tamanaga, is an Indiana Pacer. What does that guy have to do to solidify his role as an NBA role player, starter, just to keep his foot in the door to make sure he can make that stay as long as possible?
So obviously he could shoot, and he could shoot from anywhere, and the offense is not a question. It's going to be, can he defend in the NBA? So that's what comes to mind. And so what do you surround him with on defense to allow him to be on the court? And so the Pacers don't care about defense. So
That's what I'm thinking. It's the perfect fit. Keep going.
I feel like they had a 160-point game last year without overtime. So whatever. Let's just get some more offense. Just put him out on the 3-point line, and he can jog back like he's at Lifetime Fitness and just play on offense only because 3's more than 2. So
That's my exact thought. My joy is I love having the idea of Keisei Tamanaga showing up to practice, working on his defensive slides, and Halliburton pulling him aside. He's like, no. We let him go by. That's what Turner and Siakam are for. We don't worry about that stuff. You just got to funnel them in. You don't really have to worry about being an elite perimeter defender. Just get up tight, and if they blow by you, that's what those guys are for. Because that is actually exact, and that's not an exaggeration. That was the offense last year. So we're going to wrap it up there. Haas Tabrizi, appreciate the time. No DP, but he will be back next week. No worries there. We'll keep it going here on Ticket Sundays. We'll talk to you again next week.